Welcome back! Before we go to today's topic, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. In this video, we are going to explore the technology and logic behind ISD codes. But before we delve into the how and why, we first need to acquaint ourselves with the what. What are ISD codes? ISD is the acronym for the International Standard Dialing Codes. These codes are essential when it comes to calling services. Each country has its own ISD code. When one has to make a call, whether domestic or international, it is important that the ISD code is punched in first, which is followed by the other numbers. There is no fixed amount of numbers that an ISD code must consist of. They usually range from 2-digit numbers to 4-digit numbers. These codes are also simply called calling codes. In the most basic sense, they are numerical prefixes that are required in order to establish telecommunication with a person or entity in another country. However, these are all countries that fall under the International Telecommunication Union, ITU. International Direct Dialing, IDD, is made possible through the ISD codes. These ISD codes are not necessarily dialed when making domestic calls. It is also by the ITU-T standard that each of these ISD codes are preceded by a plus sign, which indicates the National Telecom Code. In the more recent and advanced GSM cellular networks, there isn't an important need for the country's code to be typed in manually, since it automatically picks up the code when a telephone number is dialed in beside the plus sign. The ITU-T standards render the expanse of the world to be divided into 9 zones. Each of these zones is assigned one of the 9 numbers as the first number, which is automatically and necessarily preceded by a plus sign. There are quite a number of countries that fall under each of these zones, either by default or as part of the continent or by any other given standards. Plus 1. North America. North America and the territories that fall under this category are those that come under the first time zone with the assigned prefix of plus 1. It is officially titled as the North American Numbering Plan, NANP. All the countries and territories that fall under the North American Numbering Plan are assigned country codes that are 3 digits, which is automatically preceded by the assigned plus 1 international prefix. Plus 2. Africa. While this is a time zone that includes almost all of the African countries, it also has included the Faroe Islands, the British Indian Ocean Territory, Aruba, and Greenland. Under this zone, there are several codes that exist but have not been assigned to any country, or have been discontinued, or have been reserved for any country's expansion. While most of these countries have 3-digit country codes, Egypt alone is assigned a 2-digit code, whereas on exception, Zanzibar is assigned a 5-digit code. Plus 3 and plus 4, Europe. Both the zones that have been assigned the prefixes plus 3 and plus 4 are occupied by countries that fall within the continent of Europe. Earlier, countries that were larger, such as the United Kingdom, France, and Spain, were allotted codes that were merely 2 digits long since their domestic numbers were long enough. And on the other hand, smaller countries like Iceland were allotted 3-digit codes. But in the 1980s, new methods of allotment were introduced, which made sure that all countries were assigned 3-digit codes irrespective of their population. Plus 5. South America. This time zone that has been allotted the prefix plus 5 includes all the countries that are part of South America. These are the American territories that fall outside the North American Numbering Plan, NANP, and so have been grouped together as one under the South American Zone. The prefix plus 599 has been assigned to a group of 6 countries that fall under Netherlands Antilles, and each of their codes is the same, which is followed by a single digit that is unique to them. Plus 6. Southeast Asia and Oceania. All the countries that form part of the Southeast Asian and Oceanian continents are assigned the plus 6 prefix and also follow one time zone. The countries are mostly assigned 3-digit codes which begin with the number 6, with a few exceptions. 7 countries of this group are assigned 2-digit codes, and the other 7 are codes that have not yet been assigned to any territory. Plus 7. Former Soviet territories. Under this time zone, we simply have only 3 territories: Russia, Kazakhstan, and a few parts of Abkhazia. While Russia's code remains a single digit +7, the other 2 territories have 3 other digits attached to this prefix. +8, East Asia and Special Services. With the exception of the East Asian countries and a few special services, most of the codes under the +8 time zone remain unassigned. All of the codes are of 3 digits, with only about 4 exceptions that have been assigned 2-digit codes. +9, Middle East and parts of South Asia. All of the countries and territories that fall under the Middle East and a few countries of South Asia have been grouped under this particular time zone that has been assigned the prefix of +9. Moreover, the +999 code has been reserved for future global services and remains unassigned as well. Other than the countries and territories that fall under the above-mentioned 9 time zones, there are also a few territories that do not use or have a country code in place. For example, Antarctica. And the reasons for this may range from geographical reasons to political or technological necessity. They may be changed in the future for any given reason. However, the chances of such an occurrence are quite low. In this way, there are standardized structures in place that allow for the assignment of ISD codes and country codes that assist in international and domestic calling. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and leave your comments below. We'll see you in the next video.